represent, and I will be representing Family One on Pan-African movement, on how it make a positive changes. One of their positive changes is having more leaders, and gaining their freedom is another. And the uplift and unity of the African American is the positive change.
With their countries, and the pollution is not helping either, and it's making Africa worse. And yeah, that's it.
Started 2013. Well, Africa has made progress over the years since the Pan-African movement. Africa started 2013 with hope and optimism. Africa has dropped its mantle as a doomed country and has weathered several global economic crises fairly well. Today, the continent is a land of opportunity, both for Africans and international investors. Many now see the region as emerging Africa because of the positive changes it has taken to become a great place. So recently, in 2010, Africa hosted the BMX World Championship, and also a couple years ago, Oprah opened her all-girls academy, and she stated that the students who are invited to attend the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls have shown they have the ability to excel and move beyond challenging circumstances which are prominent in Africa because of their surroundings and their economic places. And
Keep going.
And their Africa's resources and profit. Extractive governance is in the spotlight. Africa hosts about 30% of the world's reserves and extractive resources, but most of its rich countries have been trapped in conflicts but have come out on top.
What Lay said about the BMX tournament, people and families who really don't think that how will the BMX tournament really help Africa, plus due to pollution and other natural causes, that has been affecting the process of rebuilding Africa. Also, the economics in Africa is not that good due to they cannot extract their natural resources such as diamonds and gold, so they can really not profit in the resources.
The Pan-African movement is not leading to a prosperous time for Africa because, one, civil wars, because the Nigerian war that is still going on today is between the Muslims and the Christians, racial and religion conflict. The Sudan Civil War. It began because of people wanted independence in southern Sudan. In the Second Congo War, tens of thousands of injured and died. This is racial tension and other reasons more. But there is a slight change. Africa does have a united continental army called the CEPAT. But if they used it against the civil wars, Africa wouldn't have this problem, but sadly it still does. And also terrorism. Like in northern Africa, there's been like hundreds of terrorism groups terrorizing in lots of different countries. But the one that is soon going to be internationally known, that is soon going to affect the whole Africa, the whole continent of Africa, is called the Al-Shabaab. It sounds ridiculous, but it's affecting Nigeria in its civil war. It's going to make Nigeria weaker and weaker. And this is why the Pan-African movement is not being prosperous for Africa.
Because Africa has changed a lot. Although they are still suffering, it has decreased majorly because of the Pan-African movement. Marcus Garvey, W.E.B. Du Bois, and many more African Americans have changed Africa in a better environment. Even though there are still homeless people, America still has homeless people, and they are still a striving country.
Franklin, go.
The Pan-African movement changed for the better for Africa. W.E. Du Bois was at the conference when they were talking about the descent of Africans and how African American. It doesn't matter if you're African American or black, white, blue. Racism doesn't matter, and even though you were born in America, your descent is still from Africa. So it changed for the better, and today it shows how African Americans and Africans, how we have black power, and that we are proud that we are black and African.
Africa has not changed. Since the 1900s, Africa has been in disarray. There are entire forests that have been cut down, big, huge fields of land filled with nothing but trash. In some towns, only 30% of the water is drinkable. That's how much pollution there is. The Pan-African movement has not changed Africa. There are still civil wars going on across the continent due to territorial gain and ethnic tensions. There is still widespread poverty. Africa is still facing many problems, and the Pan-African movement has not done anything to improve it.